Today, a Satsang podcast edition of Spiritual Awakening Radio. My name is James Bean. The three levels of Satsang, associating with the eternal truth or God. The word Satsang is comprised of two words with Sanskrit roots, Sat and Sang. What is Sat? Sat is that which is eternal, that which can never be destroyed. It is the essential element which is indestructible and beyond the limitations of time. And it is truth, and truth is another name for God. Sang means influence, association, or contact. Thus, association or coming in contact with Sat, or truth, is the meaning of Satsang. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna said, "Whatever is truth always exists and is never non-existent. That which is non-truth has no existence whatsoever." Maharishi Mehi Paramhans said, "Each day strive to attain both kinds of satsang, inner and outer." Outer satsang is listening to the teachings of the saints and mystics, the masters, and studying sacred texts. Inner satsang is the practice of one-pointed meditation. Sant Tulsi said, "Without the association of great saints, there is neither discourse of the divine nor understanding of the scriptures. Without these two, selfish attachment does not loosen its grip, and without dispelling attachment to the world, one cannot attain the realm of the divine and the true devotion that is essential to realize the Supreme Being." This is from the Maha Upanishad. On the gate of liberation are found 4 gatekeepers, endowed with wisdom. These 4 are discipline, thoughtfulness or reflection, contentment, and association with saints, unquote. That last one is another way of describing satsang. This is from Kabir. Discord and delusion can be removed by the power of the association of saints, or satsang. For those who associate with the masters, suffering dissolves, and they will remain immersed in joy. Joy arises from noble company, and pain and suffering arises from association with the wicked. Says Kabir, "Go to a place where saints dwell, and their association is possible. By association with a pure soul, the mind becomes pure, and the darkness of attachment is dispelled." In attending to these quotes from different saints, it becomes clear that satsang is vital and very necessary for any serious spiritual seeker, says Swami Sant Tulsi Maharaj in his great book, which has been translated into English, called The Harmony of All Religions. Today on Spiritual Awakening Radio, I'm featuring a lot from Chapter 7 of that book, The Harmony of All Religions, by the beloved Swami Sant Tulsi Maharaj. The name of Chapter 7 of that book is called Santmat, all about this path of the masters. The 3 levels of satsang, association with the eternal truth, or God, today on Spiritual Awakening Radio. The 3rd level of satsang, or association, with the writings of sages and saints. The 3rd level of satsang. In daily life, we need the guidance of a great sage or saint. Even though we might encounter many so-called Mahatmas or so-called sadhus, the task of finding and identifying an accomplished guide is no easy thing. So in consideration of this, how would satsang, or association with a true saint, be possible? The answer is that we can study the teachings of the great saints of the past, because in their teachings we find the elaboration of the truth, This then is the third category of satsang. Generally, when we speak of satsang, it is this third category that is meant. This kind of satsang includes the study of scriptures and the words and the writings of the saints of the past, the great saints and mystics. As we continue diligently in this third type of satsang, we accumulate the meritorious karmas which will lead us to the meeting with the true saint, a true master. Then we will be able to do the second level or category of satsang. As we continue in association with a great saint and with the saint's blessings, we will gradually begin to meditate and undertake the prescribed spiritual disciplines. By diligently practicing these disciplines, we will one day experience the first category or level of satsang, the association with the Supreme Being. When we have thus accomplished the highest category of satsang, our life's purpose will be fulfilled. Swami Sant Seviji Maharaj in the Sant Mat chapter 7 of Harmony of All Religions. This podcast, this Sant Mat Satsang podcast, is a worldwide satsang service exploring readings from the writings, the poetry, the prose, spiritual discourses, letters, and scriptures of the saints of the past and present, reaching many spiritual seekers and initiates or satsangis that may not necessarily have a local satsang or ashram or a spiritual center nearby in their part of the world. So this program is that third level, is an example of that third level of satsang, focusing on the writings, the teachings of current masters, recent masters, past masters, including the great saints and mystics of the ages, the path of the masters. The three levels of satsang today on Spiritual Awakening Radio: association with the eternal truth or God. The second level of satsang, association with the saints and the sangat of the saints, the community of satsang. A satsang meetup, the society of saints or sants, associating with eternal truth, letting eternal truth influence us. One major custom or mode of practice, according to Sant Tulsi Das, is called Satsang, the Society of Realized Saints. Satsang means association with eternal truth, as well as association with God. And it is to some extent comparable to church or temple, but not in any institutional sense. A saying of Jesus from the New Testament provides a fairly good definition of this spiritual gathering called a satsang. Where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there in their midst. When devotees or initiates of a certain spiritual master, connected with a specific lineage of masters or sansat gurus, gather together for worship, instruction, and meditation, the masters say that there's a spiritual charge or energy, a stronger manifestation of the loving presence of God, and a kind of communion of saints, past and present. Satsang is an experience of spiritual community, an opportunity to be uplifted by the collective energy of our brothers and sisters on the path. For we're influenced by the company we keep, and that's what's being cultivated through this art of satsang. Devotees make this a time and place of spiritual remembrance, and this helps to keep us on the path. The format of a satsang meetup can include a spiritual discourse, guidance about following the teachings of the masters, a recording of a master giving a talk, readings from the writings of the masters, the reciting or singing of banis, bhajans, or kirtans, hymns of worship composed by great saints, as well as silent group meditation. For we're influenced by the company we keep in group meditation, as well on a subtle level. When you meditate with others on the path who see the light and hear the inner sound, it helps open us up to the inner light and sound as well. It's considered the greatest of blessings if a genuine spiritual master or Sant Guru is facilitating or conducting the satsang in person. The effect of satsang is that of divine remembrance. Thus, with such a spiritual boost, encouragement, and support for the spiritual journey, those who attend satsang are much more likely to stay on the path and put effort into daily practice at home. That was from my article, The Yoga of Love, Becoming a Lover of the Beloved, on the definition of a satsang meetup or satsang gathering, the second level of satsang. Sant Tulsi says, the association of the saints brings association with the divine, and alliance with people who are engrossed in the world leads to the way back to the world again and again. Unquote. Sort of implying reincarnation or transmigration there. You can be uplifted by some people, but dragged down by others. To attain ultimate liberation, it is essential to have association with the saints. To attain ultimate liberation, or jiva mukti, it is essential to have association with the saints. Saints, having realized the true form of God, become that true form. The accomplished great beings who have attained unity with the Supreme Being and who have experienced the Supreme Being even while living in this body have become the Supreme Being. They have become one with their true divine form. They are co-workers in the divine plan. Association with these saints is the second category of satsang. However, finding such a saint is not an easy task. A true saint is a rare thing in this world. Sant Tulsi said, without accumulation of many good deeds, one will be unable to gain the association of a great saint. Unquote. When our good karmas permit, we are able to come to experience the association of these sentient beings. A more important point is that even if we have a direct encounter with such a saint, we often do not have the wisdom to be able to recognize a genuine sage. Sant Tulsi says, if someone says, I have recognized a saint, then I put my hands on my ears in astonishment. It is not an easy task. Unquote. If ordinary people could recognize saints, then why since antiquity have so many great saints, sages, and prophets been tortured, maimed, and killed? Many saints have had to face horrible atrocities. This simply would not have happened if we were able to easily recognize the genuine great saints. The three levels of satsang, association with the eternal truth or God. Today on Spiritual Awakening Radio. Cultivating the art of being influenced in a positive direction, in thought, word, and deed. The first level of satsang, association with God. What is this element which is indestructible, has always been constant, and will forever remain as such? That element is the Supreme Being of the cosmos. Association with this being in reality is association with truth or satsang. But what is it that would associate with this Supreme Being? It is not the body or the senses. It is neither these two, not the body or the senses. It is only apart from the body and senses that we will be able to associate with the Supreme Being. This is because it is only our soul that is an inseparable part of the divine. It is only we, our soul, that is capable of merging with the divine. Our individual soul is truth, and also the Supreme Being is truth. True satsang is the unity of the soul with the supreme truth. This is the highest kind of satsang. This is the highest level of satsang. However, this highest kind of satsang, unity with the divine, does not occur all of a sudden. This category of satsang requires lifetimes of good actions and spiritual imprints or favorable samskaras. Another passage from The Harmony of All Religions, Chapter 7, Sant Mat by Swami Sant Tulsi Maharaj, on the 3 levels of satsang. Reviewing those 3 levels again, the first level of satsang, of course, is union with God. This takes place in meditation, total absorption with the Supreme Being, the goal of Sant Mat meditation. The second level of satsang is the society of saints, gathering together with other satsangis on the path to focus 100% on the teachings of the masters, and only the teachings of the masters. They may sing hymns of the masters, read from the writings of the masters, play a recording, audio or video, of the master that they are following, and they may meditate together in a group. At an ashram, for instance, in India, typically people come together early in the morning and meditate together as a group. Now, they also meditate at home, but that group meditation in satsang is very helpful. It helps to jumpstart one, makes it easier to see the light and hear the sound when you meditate with others. For we are influenced by the company that we keep, and that's another level of satsang. And of course, the third level of satsang is focusing on the writings of the masters, the books, or PDF files if we want to update things to the 21st century, and digital media and podcasts, focusing on the poetry, the prose, the letters of the masters, the teachings, the wisdom from the masters on this path of the masters. A brief summary of the teachings of Sant Mat, the path of the masters. All souls or jivas are in essence drops of love from the ocean of God. That's who we really are. The attachment and association with mind and body makes the soul lose sight of its real self. God assumes the form of a saint to lead the soul back to its original home. One must surrender one's entire being to the ocean of love, of which we are a part, instead of limiting ourselves to sensual pleasures which leave us unhappy and ultimately discontented. This can be done by the practice of Surat Shabd Yoga, inner light and sound meditation, Sant Mat meditation, and by attuning oneself to the life current which proceeds from the heart of Anami Parush, God, the Supreme Being, the Nameless One, Radhasoami. In the form of light and sound, one can finally achieve union with the true self, finding the joy one is seeking. That's a passage from a Radhasoami white paper on religion of Sants and the Radhasoami faith. I really find that to be a fantastic summation of what we're doing here on this planet in this lifetime. And finally, a reading from the mystic poetry of Kabir. The soul's return to the ocean of love. How could the love between thee and me sever? As the leaf of the lotus abides on the water, so thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. As the night bird gazes all night at the moon, so thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. From the beginning until the ending of time, there is love between thee and me. And how shall such love be extinguished? Kabir says, as the river enters into the ocean, so my heart touches thee. And when I copied this poem out in this document I have in front of me, this PDF file in front of me, I spelled ocean with a capital O. Ocean of love. Another description of the Supreme Being. My name is James Bean. You've been listening to Spiritual Awakening Radio, a Satsang podcast edition of Spiritual Awakening Radio, here every week. Consider supporting this program via paypal.com to james@spiritualawakeningradio.com. That's my PayPal address, james@spiritualawakeningradio.com. There's also a secure yellow PayPal donate button on each page of my website, spiritualawakeningradio.com, and that will directly take you to a page at PayPal linked to my email address. To find out if there's a satsang meetup in your part of the world, people send me emails all the time or send me texts asking about that. Is there a satsang here in Nigeria I can attend? Is there a satsang here in Mongolia I can attend? Is there a satsang in Maine that I can attend? Is there a satsang here in Austria that I can go to? Or the UK? Or Colombia, etc.? There are many satsang gatherings around the world, and there are ways to find out where they are. Send me an email or a text message and let me know what city you're in or what city you are near or where you are in your particular corner of the world. And I will see if there's a satsang meetup or ashram or center in your area. My email address, as I mentioned, is james@spiritualawakeningradio.com, or you can text me at this number, 508-603-9381. Visit my website. At my website, I have a library of free books you can access online. Links also at my website to my blog, social media, various things that are updated on a regular basis each day or each week. And you have links to various podcasts that are available on demand also. You can find all those buttons at my website, spiritualawakeningradio.com. See you again in a few more days for the next edition of Spiritual Awakening Radio.